Greetings from Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I very much hope that this video finds you well and in very good spirits wherever you are in the world. And today, if you don't mind, I would very much like to share with you some thoughts that I have with regard to one of the recent releases made by the Criterion collection earlier this year. This is Spy Number 1037. The film is from 1953. The name of the film is The War of the Worlds. So this is the film from 1953, directed by Byron Haskin, produced by George Powell, starring Gene Barry and Anne Robinson and others. This is, of course, based also on the novel by H.G. Wells. This is 1953's The War of the Worlds. And this is, in many ways, my friends, the premier Hollywood alien invasion science fiction film in glorious, beautiful technicolor, sumptuous, and quite the extravaganza. I find this film to be so exciting and thrilling. There is, on the one hand, a lovely sense of charm and a 50s Americana sensibility about the film, which I think is further augmented by the way that the scenes are shot and the color, the technicolor is applied quite beautifully in my opinion. And then on the other hand, this film is a sci-fi alien invasion story that has a lot of surprises. It doesn't pull any punches in terms of how it impacts, and the scenes and the set pieces that it displays, and the way in which the invasion and the carnage and the destruction and the violence really play themselves out. This is still very thrilling, in many ways still very shocking, and all in all, a thoroughly fun and exciting wild ride of an entertainment that still has the power to entertain to this very day. It has, of course, the science fiction element. There are also elements of religion. There are, of course, the human drama elements involving the characters. There are also great alien designs, war machine designs, of course, the effects work, the cities, the cityscapes, the destruction, the way in which the special effects play themselves out. There are also very timely themes involving of course, invasion, but of course this is 1950s, and so the notion of Cold War paranoia is inescapable when watching this film. And so we have a film that is of its time on the one hand, and also very timeless and still very thrilling and exciting on the other. It has a wonderful universal appeal to it that is long-lasting and has its effects even to this very day. This is the exciting science fiction film, The War of the Worlds. So what we have here, of course, is the Criterion Blu-ray that was released earlier this year in 2020. And from the start, I must say that this artwork is really remarkable in terms of the color and the color scheme and design. It is really apropos because, as I was trying to suggest earlier, this is a film that is a glorious technicolor extravaganza on the one hand, and yet it is a film that shows sci-fi violence and special effects set pieces on the other. And so I find that those two tones are merged here in this wonderful, almost comic book-like genre feel sort of artwork, which is entirely perfect in my opinion. Absolutely splendid artwork. So that's the presentation of the artwork, of course. And then what we have for the film is a Blu-ray that is purported to be based off of a new 4K digital restoration. And I must say it looks really, really great, and the colors seem to pop off the screen. But that's not all, my friends, because this also includes with it an older, already existing commentary track from 2005 for the Paramount Pictures release of the film. This features Joe Dante, Bob Burns, and Bill Warren. And so we have, again, a pre-existing commentary track here. It's not Criterion's own, but a commentary track that is pre-existing is, in my opinion, better than no commentary track at all. And I must say that this commentary track is really great. We have the three gentlemen, and we have talking about the background and history of the film, specifics about the filmmakers involved, and certain aspects about the special effects as they appeared on the screen, what kind of impact they had on kids growing up watching films like this in the 1950s, and the like. It is all in all, a really fun and engaging commentary track. So it's great that Criterion has managed to include it here with its own release. So that is the 2005 commentary track here. But that's not all, because we also have a Criterion supplement, which is called Movie Archaeologists. This is 29 minutes, and this is with Craig Barron and Ben Burt. And they talk, this is such an interesting supplement, because they talk about the special effects, the visual effects, and the sound effects design, and they're talking about it in using the conceit of trying to recreate certain iconic special effect sequences from the film. And so one would think, when watching this supplement, that this would be focusing solely on the special effects sequences. But oh no, my friends, what is so wonderful about this Movie Archaeologists supplement is that it also goes into, alongside the discussion of certain special effects and design work, etc., it does go into, to a certain degree, background about the film itself. And so it serves in its own great way as another type of these making of documentaries focusing on the film itself, which is really wonderful. It's really great to hear comments about the special effects and the design, the Al Nozaki design, of course, very, very famous, and the like. So Movie Archaeologists, approximately 29 minutes. But that's not all, because we also have another Criterion supplement, which is called From the Archive, talking about the 2018 restoration work. 20 minutes. This is talking with Andrea Callas from Paramount Pictures, and also Craig Barron and Ben Burt. This is also very, very exciting, because a lot of work goes into restorations, and not just that, a lot of decision making goes into restoration work about what to do about certain colors or certain sounds, and how that will affect the overall mood and effect of the piece. And sometimes these decisions can have really a significant impact on a particular film, such that they have the potential maybe of even changing the original contours of the film in a way that is that can be in many ways quite long lasting. And so there's a lot riding on the success or failures of a particular restoration. And so all of that stuff is there when we hear these people talk about the restoration work. And so this is very interesting discussion, and we see examples of how certain decisions were made and the philosophy behind the restoration work, in order, on the one hand, to create a really beautiful picture and quality design, but also, on the other hand, to try at the same time to maintain a sense of fidelity with the original work, respect for the original intentions, and that sort of thing. And sometimes the line is very clear on that point, sometimes it's not so clear. And so with that, we get all of those implications discussed, or at least touched upon, in this supplement. Once again, fascinating stuff from the archive. But that's not all, because then we get another supplement. This is from 2005, so it's a pre-existing one. It's called The Sky is Falling. This is 29 minutes, and this is essentially a making of documentary, really insightful and exciting and informative. We have interviews with a number of people, including Gene Barry and Anne Robinson, the two leads of the film, as well as others. And so this is a really nice traditional type of these documentaries that's included here, but it's really wonderful to have, and it's substantive in terms of its length and substance. So 29 minutes, The Sky is Falling. But that's not all, because then we have a section of the supplements which is called Wells and Wells. So Wells, W-E-L-L-S, and Wells, W-E-L-L-E-S. And this, of course, refers to H.G. Wells and Orson Welles. And under this section we have two supplements. First of which is the radio drama, the Mercury Theater on the Air drama, October 30th, 1938. This is the Mercury Theater production of War of the Worlds. This is the very famous or infamous radio dramatization of War of the Worlds, and we get it here. It was considered in many ways a kind of historical event, and it is also an example of the kind of the way in which drama and history can collide in a way that creates a sense of paranoia among the audience, and this has a certain, therefore, a certain historical significance that is undeniable. And so I heard this in school, and it was effective then, and it's still effective now to this very day. Really amazing stuff. So I'm so glad this was included. And then along with that, there is a KTSA interview. This is October 28th, 1940. And this is an interview from a broadcaster in Texas, United States, and 1940. And so this was an occasion where we had H.G. Wells and Orson Welles together meeting in the same place. And so the broadcaster took the opportunity to have a joint interview with these two gentlemen. And this is what we have here, a 1940 interview with H.G. Wells and Orson Welles. This is fascinating stuff, because not only, of course, because of the personages of H.G. Wells and Orson Welles together, and of course H.G. Wells and Orson Welles are incredibly significant to the history of the War of the Worlds story, of course it is, right? But not only that, but they talk about so many interesting things. At one point, there is H.G. Wells asks Orson Welles about a particular film that Orson Welles is working on at the moment, a little film called Citizen Kane. It's very interesting to hear Orson Welles give some comments about this film that he is currently working on. And then the conversation goes into a discussion about many things, including opinions about the current events and situations in the European theater, because of course war is going on in Europe at the time, and so there is discussions of a political nature about what the implications are of that particular point in time. It's really an incredible conversation between these two gentlemen, and so it's wonderful that Criterion was able to include it here along with the rest of its supplements. So this is the KTSA interview from 1940, the conversation between Orson Welles and H.G. Wells. And then last but certainly not least, we have an audio recording, or excerpts from an audio recording from the Harold Lloyd Master Seminar from February 5th, 1970. And this is a seminar given by producer George Powell. And so he's sitting, what I assume to be in front of an audience, and the audience is asking him questions about filmmaking, about War of the Worlds, about a certain style and George Pal's background, aspects of sci-fi and animation, and many other discussions in this sort of excerpted audio recording. And again, this is fascinating stuff. George Pal is, of course, incredibly important in the story of the film War of the Worlds, and so it's such a wonderful look into the mind and the thinking and the philosophy of George Pal. And so it is audio only, but still it's really great to hear his actual voice and his talking about art and the like. So highly, highly worth it if you can. Once again, this is the Harold Lloyd Master Seminar from 1970, given by George Pal, the audio recording. And then to round out the discussion of this great release from Criterion, we have the insert. It's one of these fold outs, which is, it's good on the one hand because it is further ability to show this great artwork. On this side, of course, we have the cast and crew breakdown, some more artwork, and then information about the transfer, production credits, and special thanks and acknowledgments and the like. And then the other side is the essay. This is Sky on Fire by Jay Hoberman. A quick word about the essay, another great one from Criterion. What I love about this essay by Jay Hoberman is that it really sets up in a wonderful and concise way, it sets up the history of the story from the novel, the H.G. Wells novel, and then it goes into a quick discussion of the Orson Welles radio adaptation, and then goes into the George Pal, Byron Haskin film, and then it touches on to more recent adaptations of the story War of the Worlds by Steven Spielberg and company, and then it goes into a discussion of the film proper. So it's a great, well-written essay. And these are always wonderful to check out. So if you can, please check out the Jay Hoberman essay, Sky on Fire. And so this is, as I say, on the other side of this leaflet type of insert. I've mentioned it before, and I'll just say it again very briefly. And I always hope that Criterion could do more of the stapled booklet type of inserts rather than these fold outs. I always like a good robust booklet, and so you could always have more essays, you could always have more artwork with that kind of robust booklet and the like, and so that's something that I always hold out hope for with every Criterion release. But we still get a good essay with this, so that's better than not getting any essay at all. So there's that. So this is, in essence, the release by Criterion of the film The War of the Worlds. It has a good set of supplements. They are all informative. It does have a pre-existing commentary track. It's not Criterion produced, that's for sure, but it's great and it's excellent, and it's wonderful to have commentary tracks that are pre-existing rather than not having any at all. This is one of the things that we are, of course, noticing with Criterion releases in 2020. Some releases have commentary tracks, some don't. When they do have commentary tracks, most of the time they tend to be pre-existing commentary tracks, and so that might be a trend at Criterion. I'm not sure what that means for the future of commentary tracks, but if it does suggest anything about the future, then what that tells us now is that it's good, at a very least, that we have a pre-existing commentary track with this, plus all the other supplements that are included here as well. So all in all, a fine release, and that artwork is just exceptional. It's exceptional artwork capturing the film's quality and essence perfectly. And oh gosh, what a film this is, my friends. What a film. It still excites and enthralls even to this very day. What a great entry in the Criterion collection. This is spy number 1037, The War of the Worlds. Okay, my friends, so that's it for now. And so thank you very much. And until we meet again, please be happy and healthy and well. And please keep on watching a lot of great movies. Thank you once again for your time, my dear friends. And cheers.